Tell me your troubles, Michelle.
It's just annoying me that it's quiet, but everybody's quiet. April is always like this because we have so many public holidays in April.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very hard to commit to work when seems to be the time when people take their leave.
There's always been an interim in March, April.
Since about COVID, it's been like this. March, April, and then it picks up again. But it can be quite devastating, actually, for some people if they haven't had like a busy season.
I mean, that's also part of why to be permanently employed, is because March, April killed me. To the point where, I mean, you remember, I was like, oh, I don't know, I'll become a car salesman.
Oh, anything but
that.
I would rather clean someone's house than be in sales, honestly.
I'd rather clean my own house. To be fair. Last year wasn't this bad, in essence, because when I came back in March, we at least worked on a kind of madness. I think we also...
had other work, but it was devastating for us. It was COVID, and then it was the writer's strike, which we didn't think would affect us, but it definitely affected us.
Yeah, the writer's strike was big. In my opinion, I think there was a lot of political stringencies happening in the country, and people potentially saw that and thought, this is going down a bad way.
That was also devastating. We lost a lot of work. Our long-form people lost a lot of work. And it's just kind of been one thing after another. It's like frustrating. But that's why you kind of need to explore different things, keep your options open, invest in other potential ventures.
We've spoken quite a bit about alternatives, outside of the film industry. But this is too much fun.
It is.
It's too much fun.
It is. I mean,
starting...
There's times where I'm like, I've had enough. I'm done. I'm not going to do this anymore. And then it's like a drug. You just kind of...
get stuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's the one industry, I think, where you can really, one of the few, should I rather say, because I suppose the fashion industry and the music industry is pretty much the same. You can be whoever you want to be. You can be expressive. It has so much freedom.
Yeah.
I would say, to be who you want to be, and as long as you work hard, I guess.
Yeah. Do you know what I think is something that should be considered when you get into low points like this in a business? I mean, if you look at the fashion industry, what the fashion industry does is they revisit old concepts. Nostalgia is quite a significant play. I mean, your winter outfits, your winter feeds, things like that come through Wilbus, for instance, they rehash that every couple of years. They'll revisit products that they were selling a few years back because the popularity rolls back over. And if you wanted to apply that to the film industry or the TV advert industry, what do people miss right now in South Africa? And in my opinion, we had such a huge amount of camaraderie when the Rugby World Cup came around. South Africa, we love being communal. Like, there's a very strong sense of community between us. So revisiting advertising in that realm, those things that feel innately South African, might be beneficial. Like, go back to the root of
it's funny
culture.
That you bring that up, because if you look at what's happening on TikTok and on Instagram, there's this whole USA versus the rest of the world. But because all of a sudden people like Donald Trump are talking about South Africa, we have a lot of Americans coming at us with like ridiculous things, like how we live, what we look like. And they're so naive about how we actually live here. But the interesting thing that's happened on social media, very interesting thing, is you now have South Africans, because you don't come at a South African. South Africans are fiercely loyal to each other. When you have, it's like the...
Incredibly patriotic, but very humble about it as well. We don't flaunt it.
No, we don't flaunt it. That's the thing. But on social media, you come at a South African, doesn't matter what skin color you are, what you look like, where you come from. There's so many South Africans weighing in on these posts that these Americans post, or actually from anywhere else. And it's become a thing now on social media where it's like, don't go for the South Africans because they will put you in your place so fast. It is incredible. And the point that I was trying to make is that it's actually brought the South Africans together. And the posts are like, it's unbelievable. It's like a lot of the people have put the pettiness aside and ignored like the trolls that try and feed into bad vibes, and actually coming together and standing up against like other like countries or cultures, saying, don't come at the South Africans because we'll put you in our place. We might have our issues, but at the end of the day, we're a rainbow
We all
nation,
lock arms,
and we're a very unique society.
Yeah. I know, I'm quite proud to be South African.
Oh, no, definitely. I remember when I was living in New Zealand, I was there for about 4 months, and we had a get-together at somebody's house. And there was quite a few South Africans that came. And someone said, oh, I've heard this new music. I have to play it to you. And they put on Kwaito. And it was like, I promise you, it was unbelievable. Everybody got so emotional, and everybody was like doing the Kwaito dance. It's like all these whiteys doing Kwaito dance.
In New Zealand.
In New Zealand.
Yeah. And you're like, yeah, this has been together. This has been with us for years. What are you talking about?
And it's amazing how every year they would have a South African Day
in Howick, Auckland.
And they would block off the entire main street that ran through Howick. And there would be people selling all South African products, and there would be braais set up all along the main drag. And you would get that smell of boerewors and biltong and chutney and all the different treats and
curries and potjies.
It was so popular. I mean, it was advertised all over the place, and everybody would come. But the best part was the music and the camaraderie with South Africans, and the Kiwis loved South African Day. And often when with the friends that we made, they would say, when is South African Day this year? Because we have to go. It's just like so amazing. And it was just so beautiful to see all these South Africans come together, and the rainbow flag and the spring, everybody of course wearing Springbok shirts.
How can
for
you
the
not?
All Blacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. And it's amazing how all of a sudden how like patriotic you become, you know, and how like emotional you get about being a South African.
But in a time of, well, let's call it crisis right now, where businesses, or particularly our industry, is so quiet, why not revisit the patriotic and nostalgic pieces of South African media that we have? I mean, if I had to choose a director, Sam Coleman would be a fantastic individual, because he's
brilliant with street culture.
He's so good with street culture.
So good.
I mean, you're seeing for instance, KFC that he does is it's oftentimes just a culture swath across the country. We even get to experience new parts of our country through Sam's work. And I think he would be fantastic to return us to that. Anyway, thanks for the conversation.
There you go.
Yeah.